A warm welcome to all the viewers. In today's session of Tourism and Hospitality Research, we will be discussing about the seventh step of configurational analysis, that is fuzzy set qualitative comparative analysis. The seventh step is testing the propositions. As I have told you in the last video that in place of hypothesis, we build in certain propositions for fsQCA. Propositions are basically the combinations of the conditions which lead to the specific outcome. They are built upon extensive review of literature, and once we analyze the data in fsQCA software, we are over with the truth table analysis. We did the necessary condition analysis. The next is we can test for the proposed propositions, whether they are true or whether they deviate. So now I'm going to show you the steps and how to analyze the propositions in fsQCA software. So the proposition in this case is taking an example of tourists who are there to try local food at a destination. So after reviewing the literature, it was found that tourists who experience higher food quality, higher cultural authenticity, higher service quality, and better value for money while they dine it at any of the local food outlets will tend to develop higher positive behavior intention towards local food. That means they are going to revisit and further recommend the outlet or the local food to the friends and other known people. So this is the proposition which we have built, wherein the predictors, antecedents, or we may call them independent variables, are food quality, cultural authenticity CA, service quality SQ, value for money denoted by VM, and the outcome is behavioral intention BI. So how to execute this process? Let us check it out. Here we are in our fsQCA datasheet. We've already done with the truth table analysis, interpretation of the intermediate solution, which I discussed in the previous videos. Now I want to test the proposition. So for testing the proposition, I'll go to variables, compute, and here I'll put a new name for the variable which will test for my proposition. So I call it new, and I'll select fuzzy and x function. In this x, I have to put in all the proposed predictors. So it was ACFQ, ACCA, ACSQ, and ACVM. So this new variable will give me the value for this proposition which I am going to check, which says that the presence of all these conditions leads to behavioral intention. So for now, I am computing the value of these four conditions by using the function fuzzy and x. I click on OK. And in my data sheet, you see there's a new variable column created known as new. Now, the next step is I run the necessity analysis for this new variable to check out the consistency and coverage of this proposition. I go to analyze, necessary condition, and here I put in that variable new take it to the conditions. Outcome is ACBI and click OK. So this is the analysis of necessary conditions. Outcome variable behavioral intention. Consistency in this case is 0.14 and coverage is 0.92. So consistency is quite low, coverage is higher. Now, how to assess whether this configuration, the combination of these conditions, leads to the outcome or not? That means whether it is a part of the outcome, a subset of the outcome, behavioral intention, or not. For that, we go to graphs, XY plot, and here in Y axis, I put the outcome variable, that is ACBI, and in the X axis, I put the newly created variable, which is the value of that proposition, and I click on plot. So you see here, I got the plot. Let me make it a little big so that we can understand it better, like this. So you see the consistency when x is lesser than equal to y is 0.92, whereas the consistency when x is greater than equal to y is 0.14, which is quite low consistency. That means that x is a subset of y. X is a subset of y. So we'll go with this solution, which has a higher consistency value. And as you can see here, most of the points are lying above this diagonal, this slant line which you see. And this is the y-axis, which is the outcome. So that means that our new variable, which is the proposition, is a subset of the outcome. So this is how we conduct this analysis. And now we come to know we can put these figures, these numbers in our paper. We can put this plot to show that most of the points are lying above the diagonal, wherein the y-axis depicts the outcome. I hope the session was quite interesting and useful for you, and you will definitely share it with your friends and faculty colleagues. In the next video, we are going to check out how to test the predictive validity, because predictive validity testing happens to be an important part of fsQCA analysis. Unless you do this step of predictive analysis, your results are questionable and you do not have a justification for the results or your findings. So it is important to do the step of predictive analysis of your results.